It's going to be a buzzing week in Philadelphia sports. Eagles, training camp. It gets real this week as the pads go on. What have we learned so far through the first week of training camp? That's what we're going to talk about. Phillies, while they took 2 out of 3 out of the Yankees, they're buzzing because the hot stove is heating up. Trade deadline is this week. We'll talk about the latest rumors and needs and wants of this Philadelphia Phillies team, and if it even matters. Trending in the AM, we are live, taking your thoughts and opinions on all this in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter, you know the drill. Wherever you're watching, please hit that like button. Please hit that share button, and, of course, please subscribe. Starting the week at 559 subscribers. Let's see how high we can get this week. I greatly appreciate it, but it's free to do. Just hitting those buttons, like, share, subscribe, does not cost you a penny. It's time to change it, guys. Turn the dial off and turn YouTube up on a regular basis. That is what everyone should be doing. That is what we're telling everybody to do. Guys, we got lots to talk about this week as training camp is heating up. Pads go on for the Eagles this week. There's going to be some actual hitting going on the practice field this week. So it's exciting when that gets started. And the Philadelphia Phillies and the trade deadline is on Thursday. So many rumors swirling around. So much to digest. And, of course, we've got a poll question going today on the show. What did you think of the great movie that debuted on Friday night on Netflix, Happy Gilmore 2? Poll question options. It was great and funny. It was cheesy, but that's okay. It was below my expectations. It sucked big time. Please make sure you vote on that and any Happy Gilmore thoughts you got. Be sure to drop them throughout the show. Good morning, Adam. Yes, we took the series against the Yankees. It was good. Should have taken the sweep with Zach Wheeler on the mound yesterday. Didn't happen. Happy Gilmore 2 was funny and good. It was exactly what I wanted. I laughed my butt off. It was super cheesy, but you know what? I knew it was going to be cheesy, so it was great. If you went and expected amazing cinema, of course you were disappointed. There's so many people ripping it. It was what it was supposed to be. Good, clean, fun. Adam, thank you very much. Great way to start off the week, Adam. Thank you. Great way to start the week off. Appreciate it massively. Good morning, Steven. Yeah, I hit Kirk Kitayama 3M Open 2 years in a row. On the 3M Open, I've hit it. Not only that, I almost won a showdown yesterday, so I made like 30 times my money on showdowns this week. Top 10 on a GPP this week. A nice solid return on DFS this week. It's a very profitable week. It's about time because I've been missing and losing so much at golf this week. Good morning, Peanut. Yeah, Adam always got my back. Oh, Adam always supporting the show, my man. Good morning, Rick. Hope you are well. Why are you pissed? Eagles in need of a D-end. Why are you pissed today? Hall of Fame game are lame. Well, they're more entertaining than any UFL football game. Anyway, we got lots to talk about today. But, guys, make sure you're hitting all those buttons, like, share, subscribe, etc., as we've had 3 open practices for the Eagles, 1 closed also. We've got a practice schedule of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. With Wednesday as the off day. They are saying tomorrow, maybe today, the pads will go on. That's when practice really gets going. Once you start hitting, once you start actually getting involved with that kind of stuff. So gonna learn even more this week. But we're already starting to learn some things about the Philadelphia Eagles, where this team is, where they might need to add still eventually. You know, so we're gaining information. You can hear the coach talk. You can hear the media and the reporters talk. You can hear what names are getting tweeted out the most about and get information on where this Eagles team is. Happy Gilmore was garbage. Did you expect it to be Oscar nominated worthy? No. So if that's what you thought, of course you thought that. I went in with no expectations, just to have fun, to laugh, have a little nostalgic vibe, and enjoy. And I think it was perfect. Great cameos throughout. Some were stupid, but most were great. It was perfect. We are here to see Shooter battle Happy. Happy and Shooter going on the same team was a little interesting. Phil, on a side note, with Carter Hart being acquitted and found innocent on all charges, would you bring him back and give him a second chance? I know we tried to discuss this, Thursday or Friday when that news dropped here. Look, Rick, I personally don't think I would do it. There's a couple different angles with the Carter Hart situation. One, you've got, we need a goalie, right? B, is he any good anymore after missing all this time? C, we've got a very young team. And the side that I lean on is, do we need the Carter Hart distraction? Someone's going to give him a shot. He doesn't have a great reputation with the Flyers right now, from the way they split up, and he said somewhere along the lines, we didn't have his back. So I don't think he'd want to come here. But I don't think I'd want him here, not just because of what he did. Everyone gets a second chance, whatever in life. But the distraction, innocent or guilty, the distraction. Does a young Flyers team really need a distraction when they're trying to grow something? I don't think so. So I would say no. Eagles play Cowboys week 1. Yeah, I think every Eagles fan knows that. Yes, John Daly was great. He was hilarious in it. Absolutely. I'm pissed. Adam and I have been pouting all weekend. Adam and I love it. Me and Adam both laughed our asses off at Happy Gilmore too. Without a doubt. We both found it extremely funny. My wife laughed. We enjoyed ourselves. If you can't find Happy Gilmore 2 funny, then you just live a curmudgeon, grumpy-ass life. Because it was fun. It was entertaining. It was exactly what I wanted and needed it to be. Good old-fashioned laughs. Didn't need a great story. The story wasn't awful. A little far-fetched. A lot of golf references if you're not a golf, person that you wouldn't get in it. Obviously with the split-off tour, trying to make it more exciting, and the live golfers on the PGA side, that was a very funny little dig there. The fact that Bryson and Brooks were trying to save the PGA Tour. I'll say this, 2 things I didn't realize. So portions of this movie. One, I had no idea Happy Gilmore's lady, his girlfriend in the first one, his wife in the second one, was the same woman who plays the mom in Modern Family. Had no idea till this movie. And 2, it took me till almost the end of the movie where the captain of the bad team, the bad guys, I forget what his name was in the movie, was actually Haley Joel Osment or whatever. I see dead people person. Had no clue he still acted, let alone that's what he looked like nowadays. That was pretty funny. That's what you think. I made a lot of money this week betting and gambling on golf, so that's why you watch Fairway to Heaven. Eminem stinks. Eminem was an okay part of the movie. I mean, it was what it was. Trying to get the nostalgic of Jackass in the movie. Why not? I thought that was fine. Again, silly, stupid, funny. If you can't laugh at that kind of stuff, you got no sense of humor. If you're expecting it to be some genius comedy of all time, you're crazy. It was exactly what it was. Good, clean, cheesy, fun. It was a good, enjoyable movie or money. Eminem was funny as hell. He was asked to be silly, and he did it. Look, I thought it was funny, Duck. There were so many great, fun little side cameos that anybody that gets upset about it, Duck, like Eagles are in need of DN, saying it sucked, it was awful, wow, waste of time, whatever. There are plenty of people, Duck, that are talking trash on it because what they expected, like what did they want it to be? It was exactly what it was. A nostalgic, fun trip down memory lane with great references and little digs at the PGA Tour and Live. So, that money was not enjoyable. What? My money was very enjoyable this weekend. So that's that. I like how they showed old clips from the first movie. Absolutely. Make sure anybody that didn't know the references got the references. Yeah, exactly. It was a fun movie. Exactly. I said 7.5 out of 8 or 7.5 or 8. because I like nostalgic things, and I need a good laugh from time to time. Why are we calling out other people's names? What is up, Dobbs? How you doing this morning? Hope you are well. They want to talk about Happy Gilmore. I'm trying to talk Eagles training camp and Phillies trade deadline here. And now this is really when the cream rises to the top in training camp. Because this is the week where the pads go on. And I got things that I want to see this week from this Eagles team. I want to see what's going on with Edge. Has anybody seen a single reporter talk at all about any of the defensive ends? Jelix Hunt has gotten a touch of hype after the first day of practice, but nothing since. Haven't heard Nolan Smith's name once. Haven't heard Ojulari's name once. Haven't heard Uche's name once. Do we have it? We've been concerned about the depth of defensive end, where we're seeing certain positions thrive and show off. We're not seeing anything with the defensive ends. The defensive tackles, Moro Ojomo, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter. Well, he's not practicing yet. We're seeing those names pop up. We're not seeing the others. Funny how I forgot to charge his Tesla. Yeah, exactly. First half, Happy Gilmore 2 was solid, but the second half was god-awful with too many cameos and filler. Overall, it was watchable, but I'll probably never see it again. Oh, I'm not going back to rewatch it. It's not a rewatchable movie like the first, but it was fun. The second half with the golfing and everything, if you understand what's going on in the state of golf with LIV versus the PGA Tour, it's kind of a fun dig at the problems in golf right now. So I enjoyed that part. Go Birds. What's up, Bentley? How you doing today? Hope you are well. As I suspected, they did overload on the, I remember that from the first movie. Yeah, it was absolutely fun. Absolutely. She was in the second movie too. What? Royce. Yeah. Party is right. What? Yeah, it is what it is. But you're bashing it like it was awful. I would watch it again. Yeah, I mean, I'd watch it again if it was on TV. I'm not going to sit down and be like, I've got to go watch it again. But honestly, I don't say that about many movies anyway. I'd rather watch training camp practice highlight videos for the Philadelphia Eagles on a regular basis. I'd rather watch joint practices. Right now, we're at 50% voting. It was a great and funny movie. 20% on the cheesy. Only 10% have voted it sucked big time good because that person's grumpy. But anyway, training camp. We also have the MLB Trade Deadline. The latest rumor for the Philadelphia Phillies is Eugenio Suarez, third baseman from the Arizona Diamondbacks, who's got 36 homers and 87 RBIs on the season. That is the latest rumor. 34-year-old third baseman, 35-year-old free agent at the end of the season. Do you want the Phillies to do that? Because what that means is either A, Alec Boehm goes out in that trade, or B, Alec Boehm goes to first. That means Bryce Harper is your outfield fix. Do you want Bryce Harper going back into the outfield if it means Eugenio Suarez in the middle of the diamond? I couldn't believe Vernon Lundquist was still alive. I had to Google it. I don't know if he is or not. I was joking with my wife. I wonder how much he gets paid to do that. But he had so much fun doing it. Phil Dunn pissed me off. I'm pouting like a baby, and he acknowledges. Look, whatever. Eugene Suarez hopefully going to be a Philly. How much are you willing to trade for him, Rick? Like, he is a free agent at the end of the year. Saw reports that the Yankees weren't willing to part with. They want one high-end free agent or prospect, like a triple-A'er, and they want a low-end, like a single-A guy. What are you willing to part with for him, considering he's on a rental position here? And that means he's got to put Bryce Harper in the outfield. And I don't know if I love Bryce Harper in the outfield, but I guess. You put him in right, move Castellanos to left, I guess. Then you still platoon Marsh and whoever in center field. Or you bring up Crawford. I don't know. I don't know how deep into the prospect bag I'd go for Suarez as a rental. But if you want Mick Abel, Arizona, and someone from single A, I think I would do that. I'm not putting Crawford on the table or Aiden Miller on the table for Suarez. Wonder if they would take Alec Bohm, even though he's injured right now. Alec Bohm and a single A prospect for him. That would be something that I would be interested in hearing what they would do about. But it's going to be hot. There's so many rumors floating around right now. So many rumors. And this weekend, yes, they lost yesterday. Tough loss to the Yankees yesterday with Wheeler on the mound. But they did take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees, which is very, very important that the Phillies did that. So the question is, what else? They signed David Robertson. He'll be up in about a week and a half, 2 weeks now. Aaron Nola is going out on a rehab stint soon. It can't be, that's it. Still would like an outfield bat. I don't think Alec Bohm could play left field. I've never seen that before. Don't know if he's even athletic enough to really do that or not. Oh, maybe he is. I don't know if I'd be experimenting with Alec Bohm in left field at this point in the season. If you get Suarez and Bohm is not part of the trade, you'd be putting Bohm at first and Harper in either left or right field. That's what you'd be doing. Actually, Harper in left field wouldn't be the worst idea, honestly, to keep Castellanos in his same spot so you're not changing Castellanos up too. This Thursday, we have football back every Thursday till February. God bless football. That's right. The Hall of Fame game this Thursday night, which is awesome. You think Marsh or Casty might be on the move in a package? I don't buy. I know there was a lot, and I mean a lot, of Castellanos rumors to the Kansas City Royals floating around this weekend. I would not trade Nick Castellanos in season. I think that would be a big, big mistake. Unless it was in the right deal, obviously. I'm not trading Castellanos for prospects at this point. Now, after the season's over, we can have that conversation with the Royals, absolutely. Now, Brandon Marsh, if you're going to call up Justin Crawford and you're going to add somebody to left field, whether it's Harper or somebody in a trade, if you're going to commit to Justin Crawford as your everyday starter, I would move Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh has actually played really well since his return from the injured list early in the season. He's a borderline 280 hitter this year if you take his first month before his injury out. So, Brandon Marsh, you could do much worse than having Brandon Marsh in the outfield and on your bench still. I mean, Burrow or Lazinski can play left field anyway. That's true. Well, Rhys Hoskins was pretty god-awful in left field. They tried that experiment a couple years ago, and that didn't work out. You've already wanted to move Schwarber out there so you can get Rooker. So, I don't know. I would consider moving Alec Bohm in the deal for Suarez and then making an additional move for a left fielder. But then that would mean 3 trades because you still need another bullpen piece. Do we really have confidence that Dave Dombrowski is going to swing 3 different trades at this point? I really can't say it. Dave Dombrowski, I don't even know if he could pull off the deal for Suarez. The Diamondbacks are going to play hardball with him. And I don't think Dombrowski will leverage the future of this team for a rental. Now, I would. I mean, you're trying to win a World Series. Getting Suarez in that lineup. Can you imagine Suarez somewhere in the middle of our lineup? Every time we see the batting order for the Phillies, every single night, come out, we look at it, and we say, after the 4 hole, it's just a complete disaster. Could you imagine a lineup going Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Suarez at 4, and then you've got Castellanos at 5 and everything else. JT at 6. JT's been playing great baseball lately. It definitely lengthened, and if you keep Bohm, I mean, now you're talking 1 through 7. You put Crawford at 8 or 9. Now all of a sudden you're talking about a lineup. Been saying it for a while. The Phillies should just push all in and get Rooker and Miller. Yeah, get me Rooker, Miller. Dream scenario at this point, get me Rooker, Miller, and Suarez. Personally, I would go Miller, Kwan, and Suarez. I think that would balance out power, at-bats, and stuff like that. Do you really go get Rooker and Suarez? I think that's just double dipping in the same style of batters. But sure, whatever you want to do. Just go all in. I want Red October to be meaningful around here. I want Red October to be confident that we have a chance in Red October. We need another bullpen arm. We do. Someone with playoff experience, someone that's thrived in pressure moments. We need it. Now, I don't know if that's Mason Miller or not, thriving in the playoff moments. I don't think he's even pitched in the playoffs to my knowledge. But, oh, my God, it's going to be so hot the next 3 days, Adam. And I got big orders every day this week. It's going to be a hot, dreadful week at the pizza shop. I got lots of things going on this week. It is going to be interesting. Good morning, Eric. How you doing? Happy Gilmore 2 was okay. Cheesy fun. That's all it was supposed to be. Cheesy fun, right? Hope you had a great weekend, Eric. But the week starts, and it's going to be a hot one out there. The Eagles are going to be in pads, hitting. That's what we want to see. We want to see the safeties, Drew McCuba and Sidney Brown, hit and see what they're up to. Jihaad Campbell's going to have his pads on. He's going to be allowed. People are like, oh, well, he's only practicing right now because it was unpadded. Well, he says he's going to be allowed to be padded, so he's going to be out there hitting too. I would love to meet the person that suggests the Speedy Crawford hits too many ground balls. Did somebody actually say that? That's kind of crazy. Kind of silly. Time to pull out the pickle juice. Yeah. It's a pickle juice kind of week for sure, Duck. What's up, Phillies, Eagles, throwbacks? How you doing? Well, I said all along, they will take a big swing at a bullpen arm than a marginal right-handed bat. Yeah. So that would lean you towards the Mason Millers of the world and not the Suarez's of the world. Sure. I would rather, if I could only have one big piece, it would be a closer, without a doubt. Yeah, Drew McCuba will win the job, I think. What was interesting, they were practicing dime on Saturday a bunch. And on dime, you had Drew McCuba playing the slot with Cooper Dejean, because you always go with four cornerbacks in that situation. So they had Brown, Reed, and then they had Drew slide up. And that's why I've hyped up Drew McCuba a lot this offseason, is because he's exactly what Vic Fangio wants. A guy that can produce on multiple roles, multiple levels. He could play cornerback. He could play slot. He could play in the box, outside. He could do whatever he wants. He's a creative young player. And that's what Vic Fangio loves. That's why you see Cooper Dejean playing outside, playing inside, playing safety in practice. You see edge rushers that can drop into coverage, athletes. That's what Vic Fangio wants on his defense. Someone like Jihaad Campbell that can play inside, can play outside, can rush, can play the run, can drop into coverage. I think Drew McCuba wins the job as well, without a doubt. I'm mad. Well, you're mad. I'm mad. We're all mad, right? I'm going to the preseason game against the Browns. Oh, that's awesome. I'll be live streaming right here on the channel. So that's what I'll be doing. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button, that share button, subscribe button, and vote on our YouTube page, Phillies and Eagles Throwbacks, if you want to check out the YouTube page as well. It's linked in my bio. Always appreciate a subscribe or tuning in over there as well. I'm going to bring them up. These are the four big things. And in the first week of Eagles training camp, we either have more questions or no answers. Right guard. Tyler Steen hasn't had a great camp so far. He's not been bad. He's been with the ones every day, but Moro Jomo and the interior defensive line has had a very large amount of success against him. Do we start seeing someone else get rotated in this week? Say a Matt Pryor at right guard. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Ringo and Adoree Jackson. Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson. There's a battle going on there at cornerback. And it looks like through the first 4 days, Adoree Jackson is already pulling ahead of Keely Ringo, which I don't like. So I want Adoree Jackson to be my depth piece there. We need to go out and get another cornerback. Just saying. Safety is still an open battle right now between Drew McCuba and Sidney Brown. But like Throwbacks and I say, we are both thinking Drew McCuba. And then the outside edge rushing position is something through the first week of camp that concerns me. Nolan Smith will be fine. He's still recovering from an injury. Alex Hunt is getting better. But outside of that, Ojulari and Uche have done nothing. I don't even know if I've heard their names listed on a play. I've read them in recaps that no one's seen them. But they're not doing much so far. So I think it's a big question. All over the place yesterday, New York fans. I can't remember the last time Devin Williams had a 1-2-3 inning, and he always seems to do it against the Phils. I wasn't watching yesterday's game too much. I was watching the end of the 3M Open with all my bets on the line and all my DraftKings lineups trying to win. So didn't watch any baseball yesterday. I will say this. I did see the video of a Phillies fan and his date enjoying themselves a little bit too much at the Yankees game yesterday in the outfield. Some people just take stuff a little too far. What, NFLPA going to jail? What? I don't even know what's going on with that comment there. If something breaks while I'm on the show, I really don't know about it too much. That's, it is what it is. But do the Eagles, Howie Roseman has spoke before camp started about how he's got 13 picks next year, but some of those could be used to improve the team now. After 1 week of training camp, is there a position you want him to target and add to this team already? And oddly enough, a position I thought we were fine at, defensive end, edge rushing, might need some help. Lewis Seen probably going to get cut. AJ is killing Ringo's self-esteem. What do these guys do during the offseason? No excuse for Ringo not being tremendously improved. A lot to get there. Lewis Seen, Lewis Seen to me is probably more of a practice squad guy on this Eagles roster. And it's funny. AJ is killing Keely Ringo. AJ's beating him. Devontae Smith's beating him. Terrence Marshall Jr. has beaten him. We talk about Quinion Mitchell and how much he learns by going up against A.J. Brown every day in practice and Devontae Smith, and how going up against those greats make him better. A lot of when Keely Ringo is getting beat, it's being reported that it's tight coverage. Is Keely Ringo just learning how to guard the greats? He's not going to be guarding A.J. Brown in a game. That's going to be Quinion Mitchell. So are we just molding Keely Ringo into a better player by letting him get beat up in the morning or in practice, okay? He's learning. Quinion Mitchell's learning. Keely Ringo, he's just not doing well. Just a way. I'm just trying to look at it a different way. And I'm sure they worked out in the offseason. I predicted Ringo stinks. We don't know if he stinks or not. Good morning, Little G. How you doing? Hope you are well and have a great weekend so far. Good morning, Barbara's in the house. I was counting on a sweep of the Yankees because they are in a free fall, but look at the schedule. White Sox, Tigers, and Orioles. And Tigers have lost 12 of 13. Yes. You felt like you were getting the sweep because Zach Wheeler was out there yesterday for sure. Although Carlos Rodon is not a bad pitcher either. They do have a nice little stretch here, the Phillies. I looked. They are now a full 1.5 games back in the division of the Mets, but they still got, I believe I saw 4.5 games up in the wild card. So they're still in fine position for the playoffs. I still think the Phillies will be fine. But being fine is not what I want. I want them to give me confidence that getting to the playoffs isn't enough, that they can actually overcome their last couple of years' worth of hurdles in the playoffs. And to do that, they got to make some major adjustments at this deadline this week. I said Eagles need edge. And you know what? Through 4 practices, the Eagles might need some edge help. It has been a minute since we've seen Barb. We miss Barb. We miss Barb's comments in the morning. We miss everybody when they're not here for a little bit. We do. But we're family here in the morning. So you go away for a little bit, you come back, and you're right back because we never turn our backs on the family around here. We always keep you in the family. And if you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, vote on the poll question. What did you think of Happy Gilmore 2? My one concern on the Eagles D is the ability to set the edge against the run. I have no concerns about the sacks. Yeah, I have no concerns about the Eagles D, defensive line, for the top 5 or 6 guys. I don't have an issue with Carter, Davis, Ajomo, Hunt, Nolan Smith. It's the next level of guys. The Eagles have always been a team that rotates linemen. What's the 4th, 5th, 6th guy on the bench going to be like in those rotations? And so far, Ojulari and Uche haven't done anything. We haven't seen anybody else really step out. I haven't heard Antoine Powell-Ryland's name. I haven't heard Thomas Booker's name. I haven't heard Ty Robinson's name yet in practice. So these are the things we got to look at is the next level guys. I mean, we'll get more of those next level guys in the preseason games, which, what are we, 2 weeks away? Not even. August 7th. So we're like a week and a half away from the first preseason game. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Do you feel Campbell and Makuba will have the same impact Quinion and Cooper had last year? That is a fantastic question, Steven. Fantastic question. I mean, first off, Quinion Mitchell and Cooper Dejean had massive impacts last year on the Eagles defense. Jihaad Campbell could, in theory, have an even bigger impact, without a doubt. Because I think Jihaad Campbell, I think being a linebacker that can pass rush, that can stop the run, that can drop and cover a tight end, the role that Jihaad Campbell is going to be asked to do on this defense, instead of just going one-on-one against whoever's the outside receiver in Quinion Mitchell, means he can have a bigger impact. Now, Drew Makuba, I think he can have as big of an impact, or he can have no impact. I think it's going to be a wait and see on him. I would say, though, Jihaad Campbell definitely can have a bigger impact. What? What? I don't even know what you're saying. Even 2 tries. The middle is solid, but we are prone to pursuit up front. Luckily, Bond and Dejean cover some of that up. Absolutely. I'm still asking the question, what is Zach Bond year 2 in Midnight Green going to be like? He's gotten paid. He's found fame and fortune. How is he? Well, I mean, we just went through a one-hit wonder last year in Bryce Huff. I assume Zach Bond won't be a one-hit wonder, but what if? What if? Eagles defense doesn't have to be number 1 again for them to win their whole roster is the best. Absolutely. I think the defense will have question marks for early in the season. We've got a very difficult start to the schedule. You lost 5 guys, whether they were starters or rotational players, on that defense. You're asking 2 rookies to step up again, just like last year, Makuba and Campbell. Your edge is missing, Brandon Graham. Keely Ringo, he's not a rookie, but he's a guy that hasn't stepped up yet. Just think about last year. Those first 4 weeks of the season were not pretty, especially on defense. It took them some time to get their motor rolling. And I could see that again this year. Absolutely could see that again this year. Good morning, Jonathan. Hope you are well today. Glad you're tuning in. Anything Eagles related, anything Phillies trade deadline related, and anything Happy Gilmore related, all on the table this morning. I agree with Barb. They just have to be a top 8 defense, and that should be enough. Yeah. I mean, I think they're more than capable of being top 5 defense by the end of the year. I think if certain things go right, they could be a top 3 defense by the end of the year. But there will be a learning curve. I don't even know the Eagles' schedule off the top of my head outside of Dallas week 1. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull this Eagles schedule up so I get it right. Yeah, Dallas, Kansas City, the Rams, the Bucks, the Broncos. That's your 5 first games. You got 1, 2, 3. All 5 of those teams. The Broncos made the playoffs last year, right? First 5 games against playoff teams. It's difficult. Vaughn will pick up where he left off. One thing that stood out about him to me is how smart I hear players rave about him. So the one thing that I love about Zach Vaughn, Eric, I don't know if it was reported on or he gave this in an interview. He gave it in an interview. I just don't remember where. That he talked about how he's coaching up Zach Vaughn or Jihaad Campbell and Smile Mondin and Trot Jr. right now. And he's giving them all the information he's learned in his career. And he's like, well, some places you go, the veteran only imparts some of the wisdom on the young kids because they don't want the young kids to fully take their job. But Zach Vaughn said, I don't care. I'm giving them all the information I have because I want the team to be the best. And that right there is a huge leadership thing right there from Zach Vaughn. How he doesn't care. He knows he's got this 3-year deal. It's pretty much it. It's just one big moment. So it's in part that wisdom on the next generation. You see not just him wearing the green dot, calling out the defenses. You see Trot Jr. wearing that green dot this past week a few times. I'm 100% okay with Ringo. Straight line speed translating to a special teams superstar. I think this defense is going to be knocking quarterbacks out early. A lot of body bag games. KC is trending downward. Plus, we play them at home and we're favored, so I think we'll win that game. Yeah, look, a lot of people are saying Kansas City is trending downward. They still got arguably one of the 5 greatest coaches of all time. They got arguably one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, and arguably one of the 2 or 3 greatest tight ends of all time. They got a big game defensive coordinator. I think people are sleeping on Kansas City this year, personally, because the base is still there for success for them. Some players are going to step up. Their wide receivers, their running back, their defense. But I don't think they're trending downward that much, if at all. To me, they're still one of the 2 or 3 top AFC teams to get to the Super Bowl this year, right along with Buffalo and Baltimore and stuff like that. I really, truly believe that, Barb. Do I think we could beat them? Absolutely. But just think about that starting schedule. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, the Rams, the Bucks. Oh, the Cowboys weren't playoffs. I said first 5 were playoff teams. The Cowboys. Why did I think the Cowboys were in the playoffs? Dumb of me. And it says we're at Chiefs on here. Home Cowboys, at Chiefs. Yeah, so we're in Kansas City for that game. Home against the Rams, away against Tampa, which is like every year, and home against the Broncos. It's a tough stretch to start the year. So defensively speaking, there could be some hiccups to start the year. And I'm not trying to say they're going to be bad or they're going to lose a lot of games or this. First off, I just checked. We only have 10 likes. There's 17 people watching. There's only 10 likes. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button, guys. I expect the Buffalo game to be a bloodbath. Where on the schedule is that? That's late in the season. That's week 17, our 16th game of the year. Maybe we have everything locked up by then, hopefully. The schedule, it does not do the Eagles any favors. No back-to-back home games this year. A tough 5-game stretch. And I do put the Eagles-Cowboys week 1 as a tough test. You're going to be raising your banner. There's going to be celebrations and fireworks. I mean, this team is laser-focused always. But there's a lot of distractions on week 1 as Super Bowl champions. So I think that distraction could make it a closer game than people realize. And then all those other teams, it's going to be really tough. And then the end of the schedule, Washington, Buffalo, Washington, the final 3 weeks of the year, makes things so difficult to close out the season. So it ain't going to be a cakewalk this year. That's why I'm still sitting right around the 11-win mark this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's a tough stretch of the schedule where most teams will be healthy, too. It's a great point. Beginning of the year, everybody's healthy, right? They haven't gotten beaten up and banged up yet. Very, very good point there, Steven. I thought we played them at home. I think we could win, but I don't want people to freak out. Like last year at Barb, everyone freaked out going to the bye because we were 2-2. Those first 5 games very easily could be 3-2. I think we win week 1. We win the 5th week against the Broncos. I think we beat the Bucks this year. They've had our number far too many times. Then you got the Chiefs and Rams. We could easily go 3-2. Then you get the Giants 2 out of 3 games. You get Washington, Minnesota. Yeah, then you get some easier games. It's going to be tough. I'm good with Dallas having false hopes. Yeah, exactly. Let them have their false hopes. Who will be corner 2 entering the playoffs? Ringo, Jackson. No, not to start the year. The playoffs. I think it's a fair question. I think Keely Ringo is going to still start the year as your outside corner. I do. I don't like the odds, but I still think he is. Do they trade for someone? Howie Roseman, in my opinion, is itching to make a trade right now. He wants to make a trade so bad right now. Will he? Or will he wait? It's a good question. For the best thing for the Eagles would be to Keely Ringo win the job and keep the job and even play at a solid level, Jonathan. It makes everything else so much better. It gives you more draft picks for other things. It's just smart to hope that Keely Ringo can do the job. Washington age will hopefully benefit the Eagles. Yes, play late in the season. Absolutely agree. They still haven't signed Terry McLaurin, too, right? So they're just run poorly. Stafford's back is acting up already. I didn't see that. That's interesting. Who's the backup quarterback with the Rams? I heard some rumor or some report that they're already looking to find a way to get the Manning kid in the draft this upcoming year. That's their goal, the Rams, to replace Stafford eventually with the Manning kid. Is it Archie Manning? I don't even know. But if Stafford's healthy, the Rams are a good team. Now, if Stafford's banged up, not so much. Ringo is not allowed to leave special teams. You are not a Ringo guy. I know that. Nooms. And you know what? I hope you're wrong. And I think you hope you're wrong on that one, too. Because I think the team is better off with Ringo figuring it out than not. But again, hopefully he's being sharpened and made into a nice, fine knife here by getting beat regularly by the A.J. Browns in practice every day. Garoppolo is... How's he still in the NFL? That dude was backing up Tom Brady in 1497. I know Sirianni won't allow them to lose more than 2 games in a row. I always say that. Sirianni ain't going to let some long losing streak creep in. I get that. Neither will Jalen Hurts, Adam. But it doesn't take away that it's still a very difficult schedule, and a lot has to go right for this Eagles team. Now, all the Eagles players are on the same plane. 24 is behind them. How can we get better? How can we repeat? You know, we talked so much about Jalen Hurts, how Jalen Hurts was spending time with Michael Jordan and taking notes and learning how to be better. Then you hear on Saturday after practice, Jalen Hunt did something similar. He spent time this offseason with Von Miller and Max Crosby, not just figuring out a new move, but figured out how to be the best at that position. The trickle-down effect from Sirianni and Jalen Hurts to the work ethic, to the mindset, to the off-the-field habits. Look at Jordan Davis. The trickle-down effect from Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, I don't think gets praised enough. He is just so good on special teams. Yeah, I did say 1497. Did I? Or did I say 1496? Both were great years. Stafford isn't practicing this whole week. Rams have 2 number 1 picks this year. I think Archie Manning is coming out 27, not 26. Okay, yeah, I don't know enough about that. I just saw some major media site tweet something out, whether it was an Adam Schefter type or a Tom Pelissero type, someone like that tweeted something out about the Rams have their eye on Archie Manning for their next quarterback of the future. So we'll see. God, I miss talking football. Exactly. Talking football is where it's at. Yeah, what's up, K1? Yeah, start the day at 5:59. We gained a few this weekend. Let's double check here on the likes, because we're really struggling. We're only at 13 likes. Even though there's 17 people in the YouTube room, there's only 13 likes on this video. Not good enough. 14 votes on the poll as well. On the poll question, please make it was a terrible choice. That's not one of the choices. Oh, it was terrible. Is not one of the choices. It sucked is one of the choices. But most people know what Happy Gilmore was. That's why 72% either said it was cheesy but okay, or it was funny. Because Happy Gilmore was a fun Saturday night, Friday night movie to watch with the wife and have a good time. It just is what it is. Rams won at Dart in the draft, but the Giants jumped in front of them. Did they? I haven't seen much on Jackson Dart. I did see, like, first day of practice, I think they threw an interception and a couple other iffy passes. Jackson Dart actually, in theory, is in a great situation right now with the Giants, in the sense where you've got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, A, to learn from, but B, ahead of him, so that they don't have to force Jackson Dart to start week 1. And that's always something I always talk about. These young quarterbacks need to sit for a season, at least 60, 70% of their rookie season, to learn, to soak it in, what it's like to be on an NFL sideline, totally different than college. Going from being the best college to just being another guy in the NFL. He can actually develop. Now, the jury's out on Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen and the Giants team as a whole, but they got a young wide receiver in Malik Neighbors. If they get an offensive line next offseason, you don't ruin his confidence by throwing him out there in that Giants situation. It's great for him. I'm a big believer that a quarterback should hold a clipboard for at least 10 weeks. And in a perfect situation, an entire first year. Now, I know teams won't do that because they draft these quarterbacks in the first round, the money, the investment. The fans always want the young quarterback playing. But I am all for Donovan McNabb. Didn't come until week 10. Jalen Hurts played the last 4 weeks of the year as the starter. That's what you want. Carson Palmer will go way back in time. Held the clipboard. He was the number 1 overall pick his entire rookie year. I hate when the comments get all jammed up. There we go. Watching football to watch the Cowboys get wrecked. Yes, we all watch for that. If you have an ass O-line, even the top pick needs to sit exactly. That's why you should always build your offensive line first, then get your quarterback, then go get weapons. That's how you build a team. I mean, people forget it's just base humor and just a shut your brain off. Yeah, it's a shut your brain off movie. I love shut your brain off movies, Doc. It's perfect. Giants have neighbors. Who else? That's it. That's really it. Kenny Pickett is injured. I did see that yesterday. But you know what? At least he's got a Super Bowl ring, right? Yeah, poor Kenny Pickett. That quarterback room is pretty jam-packed, too. From what I heard before he got injured, he was a leading candidate to be the starter for them. Jane Daniels was best from Jump Street. What? It's like old TV and radio. There are 2 buttons and switches that are important. Don't like it, change the channel. Don't like anything, turn it off. Exactly. Duck, I didn't see the movie yet. Are there any star cameo? There's like something like 75 cameos, Barb, in the movie. Like literally 75 cameos. Some of them are important. Some of them are just thrown in there for whatever. And some of the golf cameos, unless you're a golf fan, like how many people really laughed when Xander Schauffele was saying that's what she said over and over again. Nobody even knows who Xander Schauffele is other than golf fans. Stole that scene to me, though. No Otto Kemp glazing. Otto Kemp had a great day yesterday. 2 home runs yesterday. Good for him. I still rather Eugenio Suarez at third base than Otto Kemp. The Otto Kemp. Maybe you could trade Otto Kemp in the Eugenio Suarez deal. Interesting. Maybe you go Mick Abel and Otto Kemp for Eugenio Suarez. Get it done. Tons of stars and sports cameos. Absolutely. Every time I see a Steelers fan, I remind him of Pickett's ring. Yeah, exactly. Just like you could do the same thing to Cowboys fans with Will Greer. Because Will Greer rocking his Eagles Super Bowl ring down there in Dallas camp right now. Why don't teams ever invest in the offensive line to protect these quarterbacks? Like, you know, it's a fundamental issue with football and team building. People want flash and pump, and they want big touchdown passes and speedy wide receivers, the explosive plays. But they forget to have an explosive play. The offensive line has to be able to do their job. Teams build their rosters ass backwards on the regular. But you don't see that with the Chiefs. You don't see that with the Eagles. Teams that are successful year in and year out, you don't see that. Because they understand the fundamentals of what a championship roster should and does look like. And that's what makes Howie Roseman so special. The fact that he knows what he's doing in that situation. And that's what it is. We're at 19 people watching this. So there should be 19 likes. Hit that like button, people. What happened to the chat? I see the chat coming in through here. They're not popping up on my screen. What is going on with the YouTube today? Little laggy today. But anyway, you build the team from within the trenches. That's how you do it. You do it to protect your investments. All right, since the comments are coming in, I gotta read them on another screen here. We had Eric say, only golfer I knew was Rory. Yes, Rory had I did like the Arnold Palmer joke. That was a very funny little segment there, the Arnold Palmer part, for sure. Noom saying drafting Saquon number 2 overall has to be one of the most inappropriate picks in the last 20 years. Phil's chat going all Tommy Fleetwood. No one's going to get the Tommy Fleetwood reference, just so you know. I mean, I get it, but no one else gets it. I don't know why the chat's not coming through. It's just not coming through right now. Not sure why. We'll see what happens. I'm going to click some buttons here and see if anything refreshes it. But I don't know why the chat's not coming through. But I can still read it on the other screen here. Travis Kelce was awful. Yes, the Travis Kelce jokes were just flat terrible, and that cameo was just brutal. I only laughed when he was tied up. Yeah, the honey poured on him. That was very funny. Andy Reid was an offensive lineman at BYU during his playing career. He brought building. Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Oh, now they're starting to come back through again. Couple missed there. There we go. We're back in business. BYU during his playing career, he brought building from the trenches culture. He did. And we've had a foundationally great team for all that time. I mean, I know we only have 2 Super Bowls since he brought that culture here. But that's what winning is. You build. That's what makes a great defense. You have a great defensive line. You have a great offensive line. You win in the trenches. That is, football has evolved over the last 60, 70 years so much. But the one thing that's been consistent throughout it all is you win in the trenches. You can't win friends with football or Happy Gilmore too. You can always win friends with football. Tough. Always win friends with that. Always, always, always. Are the comments freezing up again? That's why Noom says that's why Pittsburgh had all those Super Bowls. Trenches. Exactly. You win in the trenches. It's always been the case. It's always been the way it is. And that's why you look at the Eagles' offensive line right now, and it's, I know what, that one site didn't rank the Eagles' offensive line very well. Said we weren't even a top 10 offensive line in football. Big joke, obviously. I don't think that site knew what they were talking about, obviously. But you look at the Eagles' offensive line, and you ask your question about Tyler Steen. Are you confident in Tyler Steen starting the season as your right guard? Moro Jomo has pushed him around a lot at the start of training camp. A lot. Jordan Davis has had a great training camp so far. In the middle against Tyler Steen. Actually, the entire defensive line pushed around the offensive line. There was a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts on Saturday's practice, that's for sure. A couple more comments not rolling in on the screen. I love Happy Gilmore's Charles Barkley golf swing. Yeah, that was pretty good. And K1 says, no confidence in Tyler Steen. You know, it's funny. All these things we've talked about all offseason, right guard and defensive end, are still the 2 big weaknesses to start the season or start the second week of training camp. That's only second week. Pads go on most likely tomorrow, maybe today, is what they're saying. Mitch Pooh asking, who is your favorite cameo in Happy Gilmore 2? I don't know, Mitchy Pooh. Sorry, comments aren't rolling in all the time right now. I'm missing comments on my screen. And it's not Riverside's fault. I don't even think it was a cameo, so to speak, because he had a pretty big role in the second half of the film. But who knew Haley Joel Osment still was an actor? And I did not know that's who I See Dead People was a grown-ass golfer in the movie. That was kind of weird. And comical right there. And I had no idea that the Modern Family mom was his girlfriend. So they were the 2 things that surprised me the most. Ben Simmons to the Celtics. Maybe things are starting to turn. I did see that rumor. It hasn't been signed yet. It's not a lock, so to speak. They're talking about it. It's a rumor. Shit gets funny in the NBA. I saw a rumor that Ben Simmons signing is holding up, until he signs, is holding up all these other free agents. Daryl Morey's really missing the boat by not bringing Ben Simmons back. It would be the funniest fucking thing in the world if they just decided to bring him back. Oh, all the other comments just finally came in. I don't know what is going on. Yep, actually, absolutely with Pittsburgh. Same with the 49ers. Absolutely love those comments right there from you, Nooms. No confidence in Steen, favorite cameo. All right, so we're caught up now in the comments here. If Steen stinks, Eagles screwed against Washington. That's a tough one. Tough one. I don't know what they would do if Tyler Steen isn't the guy. Worst cameo was Eminem. I actually didn't find that one too bad. I think Kelsey was the worst of all of them in the movie, personally. I mean, if he's still flaking by year 3 at Stoutland U, I think it's a great point. If you can't succeed in Stoutland U when you're enrolled in Stoutland U for that many years, you got a problem. Bad Bunny was great. I love the Boban. I'm like, is that Boban? He looks a little skinny to be Boban. But the Boban was fantastic having him out there as the dude's son. Loved it. Bad Bunny stinks. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was Bad Bunny until halfway through the movie. Bad Bunny could walk into my basement right now, and I wouldn't know. Eminem doesn't stink. He's great. One of the best. If Ben Simmons was 37, he'd be back. The Post Malone one, yeah, it was a little overdone. Our O-line's still miles better than Washington. Absolutely. But interesting. Who's worse, Simmons or Embiid? You know, it's funny. You bring up Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's not on my radar to talk about right now. But there's an interesting sound clip from Keith Pompey of the Inquirer that was floating around this weekend. And he said he thinks Joel Embiid knows his time is just about done in the NBA. Hinting at that Joel Embiid may say, I'm done, guys. I can't do it anymore. And it's very interesting to hear somebody like Keith Pompey, who's not overly critical of anyone on the Sixers ever because, you know, most media try to keep it very professional outside of Marcus Hayes. So, yeah, very interesting comment there from him. I do have a concern with the Eagles team headed into the season, and it's with the secondary. Having to face the G-Men, Dallas, and Washington receivers is quite troubling than the Chiefs and Lions. I worry about Keely Ringo, Jonathan, but I don't worry about anything other than Keely Ringo in that secondary. And I think they have a plan in place if Keely Ringo can't go, whether they make a trade for somebody or not. But I think that if Keely Ringo can go, great. If he can't, they will make a big adjustment. Late in camp, kind of like when they brought in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for the first time. It was like August 18th or something. So they're going to roll it for the next 2 weeks and see. How do you have Boban out there without that's a good point, Nooms. Good point. John Daly was hilarious in the movie, absolutely. I was shockingly okay with MJF in it. He actually played the role pretty well. Becky Lynch was god-awful. Becky Lynch was like the worst part of the golf movie there. She might be right there with Travis Kelce as the worst cameo in that movie, in my opinion. I may put money on Washington. They got Jaden. Go for it. Go waste your money. Who are you kidding? Got no money, yeah. Ringo mid, yeah, sure. We'll find out. I would agree that Embiid knows, but Keith Pompey is rarely correct. I don't know if he's rarely correct or not, Barb. I would just say that Keith Pompey rarely criticizes or says negative things. And what he said wasn't negative, but it was like a brutally honest moment from him that you wouldn't normally get. And it's not an X's and O thing. It's just from his understanding, from his listening, his reading, his talking to people, then Joel Embiid may be contemplating calling it a career. Personally, that's what I think. Nikki Bella was, I didn't know that. That's interesting. We got to get the director's cut then, right, Mitchie Poo? Yeah, Becky Lynch is terrible. Becky Lynch is an overrated wrestler, period. If I had to rank the 4 horsewomen, she would be 4th on my list, without a doubt. What's up, Yas? How you doing today? Joel Embiid was a great player who carried the team for years. 76ers never close to talent enough to be a top half of the league. Yeah, look. And when he retires, it's going to be a big what if. What could have been if he stayed healthy, if they made the right decisions in free agency and trades. Joel Embiid's going to go down as one of the greatest what ifs in NBA. And definitely one of the greatest what ifs in Philadelphia history. Happy Gilmore's provoked more action from Mitchie Poo than an yeah, exactly. Mitchie Poo loved himself some Happy Gilmore, and that's good. Ben Stiller was annoying, yeah. I think I could have done with the Ben Stiller as a quick little one-off cameo. I didn't need him in the whole movie as a plot point, and then them arresting him. Spoiler alert. Stupid. Love Shooter's arc. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I did. I love to see Shooter It's one of the great, Shooter McGavin is one of the great movie villains in comedies of all time. There's a poll. There's a list. There's a power ranking there. Greatest movie villains in comedies of all time. Shooter McGavin would have to be number one. I'm writing it down. I don't think anybody beats him in that category. Guys, we're at the top of the hour. It's 9 o'clock. There's 22 people watching. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. There should be 22 likes and 22 votes on the poll on YouTube. Please share this out. And, of course, subscribe to the YouTube channel, even if you're watching on replay. I know, exactly. I was waiting for Mitchie Poo to say pause. Kid Cudi was the cop. I don't even know who Kid Cudi or Cudi or whatever is. No clue. No clue who that is. That's just what I'm saying. Sorry, my bad. I don't know everybody. I'm not up on all the hip references. I definitely probably missed half a dozen cameos in the movie. Just because I'm not cool and hip like everybody else. But anyway, we're talking Happy Gilmore. We're talking Eagles training camp, week 2 kicking off. And obviously the Phillies and the MLB trade deadline is Thursday. Over under 1.5 trades from the Phillies between today and Thursday afternoon. 1.5 over under. I've said it before, but if Joe turns down all the immediate money to retire and either spread it out or out the damage or settle, does that help his image? It might actually help his image a little bit. If he could do what's right for the team. But you know what? In that article, that ESPN article, feels like he's always done what's right for the team, and the team has never done what's right for him. And I think there is some bad blood. Not with Joel and the fan base. Like, the fan base might have some bad blood towards him, but he doesn't feel no ill will towards the fan base. He has ill will and bad relationship with the team, ownership, management. And that's crazy. Who was your favorite golfer in the movie? I don't know. Xander with his "That's What She Said" jokes was great. Rory taking a gut shot there was pretty cool. Always loved Bryson. Bryson's the future of golf personalities right there. So I enjoyed that as well. But John Daly was the best part of the movie, so he has to be the answer to that. Who the F? Yeah, I don't know who that is. Under 1.5 trades. That would be a big disappointment, wouldn't it, K1? If the Phillies go out this week and make one middling move, go out and get the next Austin Hayes or the next Corky Romano, it's going to be a big letdown, right? And you're going to hear Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton say, well, we've got a very good team already. They've just got to do better. Interesting. Shame Bob Barker wasn't around for this one. Yeah. I mean, they gave him a nice shout out in the movie. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't have Drew Carey involved. They should have had Drew Carey beating him up like Bob Barker as a passing of the torch. I'm assuming Drew Carey still does The Price is Right. I don't know. I like the booze and the cuckoo clock. Yeah. All the different hidden spots for booze was kind of funny for sure. Scotty Scheffler was great. Enjoying his time in jail. Love that. Absolutely. Phil, for you personally, better golf movie franchise, Happy Gilmore or Caddyshack? Franchise? Because you can't really count Caddyshack 2. Caddyshack 2 was like Happy Gilmore 2. It's just Happy Gilmore or Caddyshack, not franchise. Movie versus movie. I would lean towards Happy Gilmore 1 over Caddyshack 1. Rick, for sure. I'd probably put Happy Gilmore 2 over Caddyshack 2 as well. Caddyshack kind of got old to me. Like, I don't find it as funny as I used to. And I'll never not find Happy Gilmore funny. I was just responding to your poll. I have no expectation for the Phillies. They will lose to the Dodgers at some point, and we will be sad, pretty much. I don't disagree with that. If he actually gets Austin Hayes again and nothing else, some people's heads will... Exactly. Caddyshack blows. Well done, blow. It's just overrated. Sandler's daughters were good. Yeah, I had to look it up. I had a feeling that his daughters were in the movie, and I looked it up, and they were, obviously. So that was really cool. Yeah. You're going to miss. Jackass. Yeah, pretty much. Caddyshack sucks. Always found it overrated. I liked it. Not going to lie. I laughed at it many times in my life. But at this point, I find it, I don't know, if I see Caddyshack on the TV guide, I'm looking for something better first. Caddyshack just starting to not age well. Yeah, I think it's just that. very possible. Back to School, Great Akash. I mean, I don't think Back to School. I don't think anything with Rodney Dangerfield really aged well, did it? Tin Cup is the Citizen Kane of. No, it's not. One of the best golf movies out there. Happy Gilmore would be one of the best golf movies for sure. The original. Legend of Bagger Vance, maybe. It's a really good golf movie. Tin Cup. There's not enough good golf. Supposedly, my sister was telling me there's a great golf show with Owen Wilson, Sticks or something like that. I haven't checked it out yet, but we'll have to check it out at some point. Was the biggest disappointment since the Rock Christmas movie earlier this year. What? Oh, I remember the Rock Christmas movie. Yeah. Had Chris Evans in it. I haven't seen that yet. I probably would never waste 2 hours of my time watching that. But yeah, I guess so. Oh man, I went through my coffee way too easily and way too quick this morning. Not a good thing for sure. Nothing is worse than Ladybug. Get in the hill, car. These heels are killing me. Ladybug was bad. Ladybug was definitely a bad movie. I probably only watched it once or twice and never again. Red One, that's what it was called. Yeah. Stick was a really good show. Tugs on the Heartstrings. Looking forward to season 2 of it. Yeah, is it on Apple? It's either on Apple or Disney, which I don't have either on my phone or my TV. My sister said she's going to hook me up with her login so I can watch it because she said she thinks it would be really good, and Melissa and I would really like it. There's not enough good golf content out there, movie or TV show wise. Ladies AC service truly awful. Actually, wait. Beverly Hills Ninja was worse. Beverly Hills Ninja? That was Chris Farley, right? Beverly Hills Ninja. Are you talking about the Chris Farley movie? Because if that's what you're talking about, that was great. I laughed at that so much. We've been over 22-23 today a few times. That's why we should have 22-23 likes and the subscribe number. We don't even have 15 votes on the poll. Apple TV, yeah. She told me she was going to give me her login for whatever it was. Chubbs' son was okay. Was that, yeah. Who played Chubbs' son? It was cool, I guess. I loved, if you want to talk references, I've always joked that if they ever did a Happy Gilmore 2, that Will Zalatoris would have to be the grown-up version of his caddy. And the fact that they actually pulled that out and did that was fantastic. It's a shame that Will Zalatoris isn't playing golf right now because he's got, yeah, in golf terms, Will Zalatoris is probably worse than the Joel Embiid situation because the dude has now had 2 massive back injuries over the last 4 years, and guy rising second or third in the Masters like in 21, and then he's just had back surgery after back surgery and can't stay healthy. But at least he got in the movie. That's good for him. Shooter and Happy stepped on Mr. Lady's grave. What? Breaking Bad guy was Chubb's son. It was. That was who that was. I know. That's a great pull right there. I missed that. I couldn't stand that movie. Which one? Beverly Hills Ninja. Beverly Hills Ninja was hilariously stupid. Anytime you've got Chris Farley doing action comedy, come on now. How can you not like that? Lovell Crawford, he is a great stand-up comedian. Okay. I saw Bagger Vance in the theater. It was such a waste of time and money. Me and my boys, after like a golf trip, we went and saw it, and it was so bad. I put it up there because there's so few good golf movies. There's so few golf movies, period. When you talk about the best golf movies, it has to fall in it because there's only like 10 of them anyway. Like the Legend of Bagger Vance, I also saw in movie theater. I was in college. I was like a sophomore or junior year in college that came out. God, I'm old. God, I'm so old. But yeah, that was a really bad movie. To waste money on a movie theater, even with what was AMC back in the day, they did $5 college ID tickets, and it wasn't even worth the $5 that I spent on that. Not at all. Trying to do a quick check here. We are at 18 likes. Still no new subscribers today, guys. So make sure you hit those buttons, please. Like, share, subscribe. Ben Stiller's daughter was the one in the beginning when Adam tried to buy the beer. Really? Okay. Did not know that. Yeah, Loveland. Yeah, no, we're on the same page on that. It's pretty funny. I missed that. I didn't realize who that was. Adam Sandler made some movies with Drew Barrymore that I like, Wedding Singer and 51st Dates, but maybe you guys wouldn't like those because we had this conversation last week, Barb. Personally, I'm not a rom-com guy. Out of those two, I would lean towards The Wedding Singer better than 51st Dates. But there's a lot of people in the group chat or in the live chat that are actually big fans of those rom-coms like that. It's just that I'm not. I'd rather separate them. Right? Give me comedy and give me romance. I'm not into the rom-com, so to speak, type way. Keep them split for me. You give me a good sappy story, or give me the comedy. Don't give me both at the same time. That's just at least me. That's my personal opinion. Miracle on the 17th green. I don't even know what that is. I know what the 19th green or the 9th green, and make sure you wear something good. Yeah, you love rom-coms. We had this. What was it, Friday? We talk about this or Thursday? Yeah. Just not my thing. I don't know. I just find them very cheesy. But that's just me. All right, we're continuing on here. We got 15, 20 minutes left today. We're talking Phillies trade deadline. Does it even matter if the Phillies go all in? Does it even matter? Oh, just got a notification that the battery in my mouse is low, so my mouse might stop watching. Stop working. I saw Blended 2 is coming out soon, and Grown Up 3's great, just what we need. I will watch a good movie in any genre. There just aren't many of them out there. Yeah, it's true. Did anybody see Fantastic Four this weekend? I did not. I won't. There just aren't any good movies anymore, period, because all movie studios do, K1, is spend all their money making more superhero movies, which we don't want more superhero movies. We want less. And that's the problem. Christian Wilkes release. Yeah, I don't know what happened with him in the Raiders. Something happened in the locker room. If he's a locker room drama guy, then I definitely don't want him anywhere near the Eagles. I know the 19th green never once got that bonus round of mini cop on it. Yeah. Give me a bench and a bullpen. But will it happen? And if they go out and get say they go get Lewis Roberts, which I don't want Lewis Roberts. Lewis Roberts and what's the dude from Minnesota? Duran. Is that the relief pitcher? I forget. And that's all they get. Are you going to be happy? Is that going to get them into the World Series? Probably not. The superhero game is played out. I 1,000% agree. Last good movie. I don't even know. Maybe Top Guy? What? You mean Top Gun? It definitely matters that the Phillies go all in. It does. But what happens if they don't, Rick? Are you going to change you've been since day one guaranteeing a World Series win. Does that change even like 1% if they don't go all in? Because Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton, maybe it's just negotiation tactics and all, have been gearing us up for a disappointment at this trade deadline. If your mouse stops watching, well, no. My mouse, I'll just use the mouse. I don't like the mouse on the screen, so I use a real mouse like this. Phil, would you be interested in Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks in a trade? He's from our area. Zach Gallen's a starting pitcher, though. We don't need to invest. I mean, we have some issues with the starting pitcher. Luzardo is having a down stretch here. We don't know when Nola will be back. We don't know how much more we can get out of Taijuan Walker. But having Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Zach Wheeler, we don't. If they got him, sure, but that's not what they need. They need an elite bullpen arm, and they need a bat, and that's it. Now, if you can get Zach Gallen too, sure. Then you could try the experiment of Jesus Luzardo in the bullpen sooner. But I wouldn't go out and make a big deal for that. World Series champions 25 by hook or by crook, they'll find a way to get it done. Stephen A. Smith was okay. What? Oh, no, Stephen A. Smith. I forgot he was even in the movie, Happy Gilmore. That was an awful, awful cameo. Stephen A. Smith could go away, and I'd never see him again. I'd be okay. Disagree. Super Game is fine, but they forgot that it's a movie first about superheroes after. They don't make good movies no matter what. They don't get asses in seats. Yeah, it's true. Getting Nola back will also be like a trade deadline acquisition. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you. But it doesn't solve the problem of the bullpen, of feeling confident in the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning in a baseball game. You know, you heard Dave Dombrowski talking about, well, don't forget, we're going to get Jose Alvarado back soon. And I literally coughed up my drink at that moment when I heard that quote. I don't even want Jose Alvarado back. He can't pitch in the playoffs. He's not allowed because of the suspension. And Jose Alvarado fucked, pardon my French, the Phillies organization and team by taking steroids, by cheating. So I don't care about you guys. I'm looking to get paid. I'm going to do what I can to get paid. I'm not putting team above everything else. So I don't even want Jose Alvarado back. Cowboys fans chanting "Pay Mike" at camp. Yeah, they want pay Micah, but Jerry Jones gave an extension to his tight end over the weekend. Can't pay Micah Parsons, but could pay. What was it? Was it Ferguson? I think Luzardo will be really good in the bullpen. He might be. He's never done it really before. He's really struggling right now, Rick. So I mean, he's tipping pitches. He's just all over the place right now. Do you really believe that there's anyone the Phillies could trade for that would make them the favorites to win the World Series? The favorites, no. But a better chance? Sure. You got to go get, if you went out and got Klaas and Kwan from the Indians, yeah, I think they would be, instead of 5th or 6th favorite at this point, they might be a top 3 or 4 team. Jerry who? Jerry Jones. Alvarado is disqualified from the playoffs. Exactly. But they're talking he could be back for the final month of the season. I don't even want him back. No matter how, I'd rather lose with Jordan Romano out there than have Jose Alvarado out there because he's not a team player. He's not a team. He might break that locker room up. You let him back in the clubhouse. Quite frankly, the Alvarado situation, the fact that the Phillies are hoping to get him back to help for the stretch run, it's comical. Luzardo 3 innings or less is most effective for him. Yeah, I mean, he's also at a point where he hasn't thrown this many innings in a long time. Or maybe ever. So maybe he's just burning out at this point. Alvarado will help secure a playoff spot. Again, Rick, pardon my French. I'm saying this in advance. Fuck Jose Alvarado. When you cheat like that, get him off my team. I don't want him anywhere near my locker room. Alvarado may help prevent missing the playoffs. I don't care. Screw him. Don't want Alvarado on my team. They have the wrong people writing hero movies for the wrong audiences. That's the problem. The movies are written in the comics, the film, the shit they stopped. Yeah, look, I agree with that. I do agree with that for sure, Eric. Absolutely. But yes. Fuck, no, it's not the fire. Anybody that wants a cheater back on the team, he cheated. He put himself above the team. No offense. What would this season have looked like if he didn't cheat? Maybe Jordan Romano wouldn't have had to be a closer and get screwed all year long. Like we hate on Jordan Romano. We was put in the position to fail because Jose Alvarado cheated. Everybody in the 93 Phillies were cheating, and you love that team. Difference there. We're talking apples to oranges. They weren't getting suspended back then. When you take something that's legally illegal and you know you're going to get drug tested for, you put yourself ahead of the team. And when you get caught, you fuck the team. And for me, I have no room for that. Why bring Alvarado back? He can't do anything. He a cheater. Get him. Absolutely. Let him go pitch somewhere else. Let him get his second chance elsewhere. I don't want Alvarado anywhere near my team. You notice it. Go back and watch the interviews of the team after the announcement. They were all pretty pissed at him. They were all disappointed in him. You don't want to bring someone like that back around. You haven't seen Endgame, though. Infinity War is better. MLB is the most unpredictable professional sport. It's literally a matter of your bats getting hot and your pitching staff in the zone at the same time. Absolutely agree. Wheeler's been pitching every 6 day lately. I think saving him for the playoffs. Absolutely trying to keep him. Yeah, absolutely agree. And you know what? I feel bad for him. He pitched okay-ish. I know he gave a bunch of runs yesterday. But when you've got you had Weston Wilson at second base, Sosa and Kemp. That was your infield. You knew you had to pitch a goddamn near perfect game. Schwarber was in the outfield. So maybe he pressed a little bit yesterday knowing the defense would let him down, and that's why. It's just it's not rant Phil. It's honest Phil. Did he cheat or did he get caught trying to lose weight in an offseason and have residual Look, he failed his drug test. Plain and simple. Plain and simple failed his drug test. He took something he wasn't allowed to take, and he failed. The problem, they think it's more important to connect movies than to just make good movies. Exactly. 100%. I don't need movie universes. Just give me a good movie. Why? Because Jose Alvarado shouldn't be around? No, I know. I get it. Have we heard from Jose Alvarado that he was sorry or apologetic of his situation? Lane Johnson owned up to it. Jose Alvarado packed his bag and left. Never said a word. And I hold that against Lane Johnson. I still hold it against Carlos Ruiz for getting suspended for taking Adderall. Was it in 2009 or 2010? I don't like cheaters. Plus the fact that he's not available to pitch in the playoffs. What's the point? That's the thing. You don't know if you're getting tested. Well, you don't put yourself. You don't drink and drive, okay? Because you don't know if you'll get pulled over for a DUI checkpoint. You just don't do it. What's up, yours? Alvarado only gave you 10 innings this year. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, and see, I say this all the time, that yes, Jordan Romano stinks. And some of the bullpen has been god-awful at times this year. But if Jose Alvarado wasn't missing, maybe the bullpen would have been balanced out a little bit better this year. Why are we always dealing with the same thing every year, needing pitching? Yeah, exactly. Because Dave Dombrowski is an idiot. I'm not channeling my anal sills. I'm channeling the inner me, the honest me. If Alvarado gets a huge save at the end of the season to secure a playoff spot, you'll be loving it. And I'll still be criticized. I'll love that we're in the playoffs, but I'll still be criticizing it. I get that. I get what you guys are saying. But I'm just telling you, he can also kill that clubhouse. According to Schefter, Jalen Hurts is the first NFL player to endorse Sprite. Well, that's interesting. Who knew? Lane got caught twice. Yeah, he owned up to it at least. And time heals all wounds. But I'm not ready to heal and forgive Jose Alvarado for ditching this team. Make steroids great again, yeah. I think most have gotten behind the wheel buzzed. Can't be hypocritical. Oh, absolutely. But I'm saying, does it make it right? And you shouldn't do that. You should not drink and drive. I'll be the DD tonight. I know I will be. What? What did I say that was wrong? He admitted his mistakes. Whatever. If you want Jose Alvarado back, great for you, Rick. I don't. I just don't want him back on this team. I mean, I don't even remember some of the times. Not proud of it, guys. Jose Alvarado, got to go. Yeah, he did. And I still love him because he's Lane Johnson. Because you know what? He's a winner. He was also a good teammate. He was also a leader. Jose Alvarado ain't any of that. Jose Alvarado gives us agita anyway when he is on the mound. Would I be mad at Jose if we had a bullpen? Maybe I'd be less mad at him. But I remember saying this the day this suspension came down, that I didn't want him back for the stretch run. My opinion on this has not changed one iota since the announcement. I did a short video. Go through my shorts back months ago. I did a video. I don't want him anywhere near this team afterwards. But yeah, if Jordan Romano would have been great, then maybe I would have less negative feelings towards it. The Phillies protect Stott too much for my liking. Yeah, Stott's having a really bad year, Barb. It's a damn shame, too. Against good pitchers, he should have started yesterday at second. Kemp in left field. Sosa third. Schwarber almost hurt himself out there, yeah. I hate when they put Schwarber in the field. It's so tough. If Alvarado helps us into the playoffs, he's okay in my book. He will get his championship ring this year. Maybe. Can he also state the obvious J.C. Romero? Did J.C. Romero have a issue with that too? Mr. Situational Ethics here. Yeah, that's right. What is my rating for Happy Gilmore 2? I would say 7.5 out of 10. 3 out of 4 stars. I enjoyed it. And you are just an idiot. Which we changed our name mid-show. Mr. Ladies AC Service. The dude just never stops changing his name. I didn't even notice that. How long ago? No, I did not give it a 6.9. Only you would do that, Mitchie Poo. What are we? Are we still 10 away from the number you want? We're 10 away for you, Mitchie Poo. We got 19 likes on the video. Not too bad. No new subscribers. Would have appreciated a few new clicks on the subscriber button today, but it didn't. Not yet. We're coming up to the home stretch here. Actually, I got to probably wrap this up here now. I forgot. Today is camp week. I got camp this week that I got to feed a bunch of campers all week long, so I do got to get in here. Phil is such a goody two-shoes. It's obviously I did go to Catholic school for 13 years, kindergarten through 12th grade. I would say, I say 7.5, but 7 out of 10 is fair. I am a Catholic schoolboy. I am. Can't help myself with that. It's the truth. Romero just threw out first pitch of Phillies game the other day. He's still beloved. Look, we are all humans. We are. I'm still done. I don't want him back on the team this year. I got to get in here. Yep, absolutely. JC Romero was caught. Yep, whatever. We got to move on here. These Jesuits, yeah, I'm not a Jesuit. Just like cowbells, you need more shorts. Yeah, we're working on that. Hey, guys, I got to wrap this up. I got to get to work. Sorry, totally lost track of time here. I should have already ended this show. We will be back tomorrow. More training camp talk, more Phillies talk. We'll continue this Jose Alvarado talk in a little bit tomorrow as well. Guys, everybody have a great Monday. It is going to be hot as hell today out there. Everybody have a great day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. This is Trending the AM on the STT Sports Network. Like, share, subscribe, vote in the poll. Guys, go Birds. Bubbles up.